Right, what is up YouTube? DS3 here, and this is part 2 in series of how to make Halo Armour, and hopefully this goes pretty well. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to need is some polyester resin, also known as FiberGlass resin. We got that in a 5 kg tub because it was a lot more economical to do it that way, because then we can get everything done and not have to worry about running out. Next thing you're going to need is a tub for mixing it in. So yeah. Also, what you do is when you buy this, you buy some hardening agent, which is this. And the way this works is you put 250 mils of this to 5 mils of this. That will harden it pretty quickly. So at the beginning stages, I recommend you use 250 mils of this to less than 5 mils of that. That way it will harden less quickly and you can do more at a time. Next thing I recommend you get is some gloves. These are old gloves. Yeah, you're gonna need a few pairs of that because it hardens onto the gloves. And don't worry if you start feeling your hands getting very hot. Don't worry about that. The gloves are protecting your hand. The reason it's getting hot is because mixing this with that creates an exothermic reaction, which means it gets very hot, and it'll feel like your hands are burning, but they're not actually burning. So don't worry about that. So after you put the resin into here, you add the hardening agent, and then you take a spoon or a fork or whatever and you mix it all around. Then what you're going to need a paintbrush. Now I recommend using a very old or paintbrush that you're never going to use again, and this is why. Yeah. What you're going to need to do next is you're going to need to lay out some newspaper. Ignore the knife. That's stuck. Lay out some newspaper, and then take your fiberglass. We're using fiberglass cloth because that's a lot easier to work with, and it doesn't fall apart. Well, mostly doesn't fall apart. And because we started using a fiberglass mat, and that didn't turn out very well. It just went all over the place. Try and use a thin one as well, because you don't want it to be too thick that you can't work with it. So as you can see, this is pretty thin. So use this instead of the mat, and then after that you lay it down on your armor pieces like such. So once that's laid down, then you take your fiberglass resin. Hopefully it hasn't hardened yet, because you need to work with it very quickly, and then you lay it down like such. You can't really see it, but trust me, it's there. Once that's laid down, you put your resin on it, and then it will start to harden rather fast. So you really need to work really quickly with that. There's another piece over here. It's got fiberglass on it, so it's pretty hard. So that's the one's mostly done there. You can see there's edges over here. Don't worry about this edges coming off, or this. This you can just sort of like sand off. But when sanding, just make sure that you wear a mask with that, because you do not want to get the stuff in your lungs. So other than that, it's pretty simple. Just follow the instructions, work quickly, and it should turn out great. So yeah. Also, if you want to get some of the stuff off your hands, if you haven't put the hardener in, and you just got some of this stuff on your hands, just put some petrol in a jar, and like chainsaw petrol. Put that in a jar and then just wash your hands off with that. It usually works most of the time. That's why I recommend using the gloves. Gloves are very handy. Pardon the pun. Oh, and this stuff is for another episode. So yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Yeah, just hope to see you guys in the next episode. That will probably be about the fiberglass, the spray painting. and that's fairly simple. You just take some spray paints and just I'll explain all that in the next episode. So yeah, other than that, we're done with fiberglassing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. DS3 out. Peace.